Coming up on Movie Buff, a double helping of fools in the shape of Matthew McConaughey and Daniel Craig, and a film destined to get you all smiling. But first up, it's our man with the license to thrill.
Your happiness doesn't interest me, mine does.
Flashbacks of a Fool, set to the soundtrack of Roxy Music and David Bowie, and it sees Daniel Craig play a washed-up Hollywood star who's coming to terms with his career coming to an end.
Joe! Why don't you make a move, Joe?
A wounded boy with just enough meanness in him to keep the girls interested.
How could you?
The death of his childhood best friend prompts him to journey back home to his English seaside hometown. He begins to think about his life over the years, and more specifically, his teenage years. Daniel reckons the cast were fantastic.
One of the things that attracted people to this, the actors to this, I think, was Bailey's script. It just gave everybody a chance, and we were lucky enough to sort of gather together such a great group of talented people, and it made it. Well, it's just made the movie.
Bailey Walsh is the man behind the camera. He's made music videos for the likes of Oasis. Daniel didn't fear getting involved in this project.
Well, we've known him for years, and we know how talented he is. So it was never a risk. Well, in my mind, it was never a risk because it's long overdue. I mean, he's never made a feature-length movie before, but he's made many other movies. He's made plenty of music videos, which are some of the best that ever made.
Now, the film does take a little while to get into, but once you're in, there's no letting go. Great casting and a little something different to your average movie. We're a big fan of this. The soundtrack's even better, and we reckon you should definitely go see it.
Shake your hand, girl, and your holy day takes me right back when you were young.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Ruth.
You were right to leave. It allowed you to do what you wanted.
Well, maybe what I thought I wanted.
Now, what springs to mind when you think of director Mike Leigh? I think of gritty, realistic films like Vera Drake or Naked. But, whoa there, I challenge anyone to not come out of the cinema feeling uplifted after seeing his new movie, Happy Go Lucky.
Well, that's the idea, and I hope that works for everybody, and I'm glad it does for you.
The award-winning filmmaker's latest piece is about a life-loving teacher called Poppy. Sally Hawkins plays the effervescent lead.
Are you anywhere near as happy as Poppy?
Well, she's of a kind of a different scale, and I suppose I'm similarly upbeat and optimistic. But when you think you don't realise how far you've got to go until you play someone like like Poppy and step into her shoes.
Yes, she certainly is off the Richter scale when it comes to happiness. So, the film follows Poppy as she goes about her day-to-day life. However, when Mike started work on the project, he had no idea how the final product would turn out.
Well, all my films start life with no script at all, and then there isn't a script. I mean, you know, it's all about collaborating with the actors to create characters and then, you know, organising it and rehearsing it and making it precise and shooting it, and this film is no exception.
Sounds risky, but it's a method that's worked time and time again for the director, and his new film is no exception. So give your laughter muscles a workout and check out Happy Go Lucky.
Sun, sand, surf, and yes, Matthew McConaughey minus a top. What more can you want from a movie? Well, how about teaming him up with the adorable Kate Hudson? Fool's Gold sees them play a divorced couple who are brought together once more by the lure of sunken loot. The only catch is they need to persuade a rich investor to help them claim the ancient booty before fellow sea adventurer Ray Winston gets his hands on it. But nothing ever comes easy, and no one knows that more than Matthew, who during the course of the film gets walloped, bashed, half-drowned and beaten. So exactly how many times did he get whacked?
A bunch.
A lot.
I get my butt kicked in this, don't I?
Come on, Tess, you're not going to hit me.
Who's tougher though? Because you've got either Ray Winston, our very own Ray Winston, who was a former boxer, or Kate with the cane.
Kate with the cane's pretty tough, man. Especially when you've got to do it 8 times.
Hear that, Ray?
And you keep getting hit. We had to do it so many times.
Yeah, well, I asked, actually. I said,
possible.
yeah, no, well, I asked them, I was like, how many breakaway canes do we have? And the prop guy was like, we have 8. I was like, how much film do we have? Enough for 8? And they're like, yep. I'm like, it's gonna be 8.
Paddle for the rudder. Check.
How do you know what to do?
You know, PlayStation!
But fear of Kate with a cane and nosediving planes aside, what else shivered the timbers of the nautical cast and crew? Well, it appears it was a rather pesky shoal of jellyfish that fancied taking a lead role in the film.
They got 2 of our crew members and put them in the hospital for, 3 days with, a morphine drip. It's really scary. So we had that. We had there was challenges to what we were doing on the water. But it was probably one of the best experiences I ever had. It was so fun.
They do say you can have too much of a good thing though, so there must have been points where you just wanted to turn around to Matthew and go, "Sweetheart, put your top on. We don't need to see it anymore."
Not really.
Why would you say that? It was hot.
I was gonna say, not really.
It was about 100 degrees.
I'm kind of used to guys with their shirts off.
Yeah, you
And the
don't.
beach.
And the beach is exactly where you'll want to be once you've seen this movie. Although I'd skip the popcorn if you want a bikini body as good as Kate's.
Well, we've had more than our fill of buff bods, so that's enough from Movie Buff.